Well, 3 days after that monumental tragedy in Karur, Vasudha, the politics around it is intense. It's a political exchange, Vasudha, that tends to shape the narrative ahead of Assembly elections 2026, with Vijay breaking his silence and making the accusation of a conspiracy, the government sending out a strong message, and each political player in Tamil Nadu taking a stand based on political convenience, some would say, over the tragic loss of 41 lives in Karur.
That's right, Veera. In fact, in his first video statement after the Karur tragedy, Vijay has said that he has never faced such a painful situation in his life, and he also offered condolences to the families of 41 people who have lost their lives. Then the Tamil Nadu administration also released CCTV footage at the press conference today, claiming that the stampede began when a section of supporters surged towards chasing Vijay's convoy. So several allegations and counter-allegations. But first, let's take a look at some reactions.
அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் லைஃப்பில் இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பெயின்ஃபுல்லான ஒரு சுச்சுவேஷனை நான் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணதே கிடையாது. மனசு முழுக்க வலி மட்டும்தான். இந்த சுற்றுப்பயணத்தில் என்னென்ன மக்கள் பார்க்க வராங்க, அதுக்கு ஒரே ஒரு காரணம் தான், அவங்க என் மேலே வச்சிருக்கிற அன்பும் பாசம். அந்த அன்புக்கும் பாசத்துக்கும் நான் எப்பவும் கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். சிஎம் சார், உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது இந்த பழி வாங்கணும் அப்படின்ற எண்ணம் ஏதாவது இருந்துச்சுன்னா என்ன வேணாலும் பண்ணுங்க. அவங்க மேலே கை வைக்காதீங்க. நான் ஒன்று வீட்டில் இருப்பேன், இல்லை நான் ஆஃபீஸில் இருப்பேன். என்ன வேணாலும் செய்யுங்க. கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 5 மாவட்டத்துக்கு பிரச்சாரத்துக்கு போனோம். இந்த மாதிரி எதுவுமே நடக்கல. ஆனால் கரூரில் மட்டும் ஏன் எப்படி நடக்குது? மக்களுக்கு எல்லா உண்மையும் தெரியும். மக்கள் எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. கரூரை சேர்ந்த அந்த மக்கள் அந்த உண்மையெல்லாம் வெளியில் சொல்லும்போது எனக்கு கடவுளே நேரில் வந்து இறங்கி அந்த உண்மைகள்லாம் சொல்கிற மாதிரி எனக்கு தோணுச்சு.
So there are two sharply different versions have emerged, one from the government and one from TVK stable, which is Vijay himself releasing a video statement. Now, Edappadi Palanichami of the AIADMK has also questioned why the government authorized a press conference like this, because he claims that this will influence the one-member Judicial Commission whose investigation is already underway. Earlier today, Veera also spoke to DMK MP Kanimozhi, and this is what she said.
TVK has said that there is a conspiracy, criminal conspiracy, and demanded a CBI probe. Is the state ready for a CBI probe?
See, what the TVK and some people fail to understand is that when there is a political rally, when it is organized by a political party, even if the Prime Minister is attending it or the Chief Minister is attending it, there are rules and regulations which the police request the parties to follow. Nobody is above those, because it is not just for the police, it is for the safety of the leaders and the people who come to attend the rally. So TVK has been again and again saying that there are restrictions there. They ask you to, follow these rules. And when you don't want to do this, there are repercussions, and nobody expected something, such a tragic thing to happen. And I don't think this is a time for, starting political blame games. Even the Chief Minister yesterday, and when he put out a message, he has clearly stated that no leader that wants, their party people or any human being to be hurt or affected or so. I think this is a time where we have to reach out to these people who have been hurt, and families which have lost loved ones.
So the question is that will there be an impartial probe? And the point being made by the TVK is that only the CBI can give us an impartial probe.
No, they move the court, and let us see what the court is going to say. I don't want to say anything against it or for it. But already there is a commission which is there, and the probe has started. So let us wait. And I think the most important thing is when the police requests you, even when they've given you permission, if they say that there is too much crowd and let us stop here and address the gathering, then you listen to what they also have to say, because I think it comes from experience. The advice comes from experience, and not to spoil your rally or take away from the rally.
Having made that point, do you believe there is a case to file criminal liability against Vijay to make him an accused in this case?
See, I am again telling you, I do not want to get into blame games. I do not want to fix responsibility on anybody or find political mileage in this. And I'm nobody to say, because I don't have all the facts in my hand. There is a commission which is actually investigating. Let them come out with a report. We have to wait for that. But I think when there is advice, it is always wise to try to at least wait and see whether we have to follow it or not. We've lost lives and people are hurt and injured. You don't leave without trying to find out what happened, or even if the leader is not able to come back to the scene, but what happens to the second rung leadership? You have to be there, taking responsibility in taking care of people.
Well, the DMK MP there saying that nobody should be politicizing this issue where many people have died, but of course, Veera, everybody seems to be also politicizing the same issue. Arun Raj of Yes, Arun Raj of TVK joins us now. Arun Raj is the General Secretary of the TVK. Thank you, Arun Raj, for speaking to NDTV. Sir, today the press conference by the state administration was aimed at rebutting a lot of claims which we have seen in the last few days, specifically with regard to conspiracy theories, with regard to police deployment, or even power cut, or even ambulances. What do you have to say after that?
First of all, when the state government has appointed a one-person commission, what is the need for a state missionary to give a press conferences? So this definitely shows that government is trying to influence this one-person commission which is probing this incident. Whatever the state governments or the state authorities, whatever facts they have, whatever evidence they have, they can very well put them across to this commission. I mean, I really fail to understand why the state government is trying to put this show in front of the people.
Sir, they are making that point primarily because the TVK has accused of a criminal conspiracy there. You moved the court. Now, this last 3 days, the TVK has been silent. It is sort of exposed that there is virtually no party infrastructure, party structure to respond to such a situation. A, does this expose the problems in the TVK? And B, why were you all so silent for the last 3 days, sir, and not speak out? We didn't see you in Karur with the people.
See, as I had earlier spoken to you, for every other party, this is an incident or on which they can do politics. But for us, it's a personal loss, a personal huge tragedy for us. So, we were in a state of mourning. And to come back to your other part of this question, we were certainly there at Karur when even our leader, we got this news when we were all in the transit from this incident, the site to this airport. When this news came in, first we were in a state of disbelief. And when we got this news confirmed, our leader really wanted to go there to be there to share their grief with us, to meet the victims' families. But we didn't get any sort of cooperation from the state authorities. We tried to contact them, but we couldn't. Even only for the reason that we didn't want to precipitate this events. We didn't want another chaotic situation there. Our leader left the place with a heavy heart. After the leader went, in fact, we second-rank leaders wanted to go to the site And I personally called the district collector that whether we wanted to go and visit this hospital. I didn't get any response from this district collector. So then coming to this fact that we were all, there is no second rank leadership and all, is absolutely not the fact. In fact, this DMK government is trying to intimidate all the district secretaries. All the district secretaries, they have received calls from on their mobile phones, intimidating them that they will be soon arrested. This is what is happening right now.
Right, Mr. Arun Raj, but when Vijay comes up with this statement, video statement saying that this has happened only in Karur, a lot of people are saying that he's giving air to conspiracy theories without any evidence. How would you see this?
See, all we want is a fair probe. This particular one-person commission was announced even before a preliminary FIR was done, even before this range DIG had all the facts. Secondly, even this chairperson had earlier done an inquiry on one particular incident. This particular that commission's recommendations were not implemented in full when given that circumstances. And I like to also point out that having lost 41 lives, the minimum, leave alone transferring, leave alone suspending this district collector or SP, the minimum that is expected is transferring of this district collector and SP, so that there is no so this is what we want, a fair probe. This is what we want.
No, you're making a point saying that the state administration has not taken action against anyone there. Usually in a case like this, that also is there. You're saying the state is completely saying there was no fault of that. The state has put out its evidence and details and it will all be probed. I want to come to a political question, sir. You are seeking a CBI probe. As I asked you earlier, the BJP is a party you all have been attacking. As you go along, will this incident make the TVK a little more circumspect about taking on political forces? Do you believe that Tamil Nadu 2026 will end up being about the TVK's allegation versus the DMK's defense? And where do you see Vijay's rallies going from here on? Do you believe they will also be muted from now on?
See, but one thing which has emerged from this incident is that it has increased our resolve to be more stronger and more committed in our political struggle. This is what our leader has said, that we'll come back stronger. It is not that it is a sake of justice for those family members who have lost their loved ones. It is for the sake of justice for the entire people of the entire state. We will be there. We are here. We are only, just because of this huge tragedy, we were in the state of mourning. We will be there, as our leader said.
Okay,
we'll be reaching out to the victims, and after that we'll resume our political activity with much more vigor and with much more commitment.
You are saying that today we will have to see how this plays out. Some would ask why Vijay has still not met the press and the media, and why your party, as you are giving an explanation. I wonder how that will cut eyes. But thanks very much, Mr. Arun Raj, for speaking to us here exclusively on NDTV. Vasudha, Arun Nehru of the DMK Perambalur MP, who was also there at Karur, joins us live right now. Mr. Nehru, the accusation is that the DMK is on an overdrive to say that we have nothing to do, there was no mistake on our part, and putting the blame on TVK even before there is categorical evidence at play. While you want to wait for evidence from TVK on the conspiracy angle, you also are trying to accuse the TVK before the final outcome of the investigation. Respond.
Sir, good evening. So, as Mr. Arun Raj pointed out, so they had a 3-day mourning. Right, understood. Any party with a leader of affiliation with fan following will have an 3-day mourning. Why wasn't a 3-day mourning allowed or followed for the conspiracy theories to float around? Even before the dawn could break on that night, we had so many conspiracy theories, and I did not see any one single person from that party which was liable for this whole episode, being present at the district level or at the government hospital. And you and I know very well that nobody needs permission to visit a government hospital. It's a government hospital. It's for everyone. So there is no, I think the point here is to make that the
But if
ownership
Vijay had come there, it
was
would have
not
created more
taken.
chaos.
No, if you haven't done anything wrong, why do you want to think about the chaos? Then who's at guilt here? So I don't want to point fingers here or find fault here. I don't want to still make a political point out of this tragedy here. Let's understand that, this incident was because of poorly planned activities by the party, which is TVK in this case. And I'm not trying to blame them. They are new and there's a long way that they have to learn. But I think they also have to own up responsibility for this and actually learn from this. In fact, there was 2 events, sir. 1 week before, you had a leader of opposition, Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy, had the event at the very same place with the same number there. There was no issue there. Everybody went off. It was well organized. And 1 week before, we had a larger event. We had 2 lakh people congregate in Karur. Even with the same rules and regulations, even we had our conditions in place. We had ambulances. We had, escape, the exit routes. We had so many things for us to. See, we were organized and we planned it well. Just because somebody didn't plan it well, it doesn't mean the state administration should take ownership for the lives being lost. I will also point out another thing. Now, this event happened at 7:30 p.m. 10 p.m., CM was at the Secretariat, announced relief, immediately took a flight, and 2 a.m. he was there. So the cause of this was still another party. But as an administration, as a responsible administrator, he went to Karur at 2 a.m. in the morning. He was there till 5 a.m. to ensure that everybody who had, affected by this tragedy had a dignified response from the government and proper follow-up from all these districts around.
But Mr.
So
Nehru,
the government is there on the ground with the people.
Right. Mr. Nehru, on the 13th of September, a similar rally was held in Trichy. That is your own city, your own constituency. And, we saw that when he was going to Perambalur, he was stopped. You saw the kind of crowds, the bizarre, unprecedented crowds in Trichy. My question to you is, why was the state government not prepared? Why did you just, sort of restrict his entry for that matter? Why did you give him a venue that really couldn't fit in that kind of people? Why couldn't you stop him from going to this place? And more importantly, if TVK had not arranged water, why did the state government not do the same? Because at the end of the day, lives have been lost.
This is a political rally, ma'am. And they, taking responsibility is also taking resources on their own hands. Why should the government be responsible for their own requirements? And also, they had suggested 3 places, out of which 2 were outrightly rejected because they absolutely did not have any space for above 5,000. And they did not have an exit route for the people to come in and go out. This was the 3rd option suggested by the TVK and accepted by the police. It's not the other way around. So, to put it into perspective, just because there's a delay in the event and we stop it. We assume that, we go by your stand. And, DMK says that time is up, go to the next city.
Yeah.
And Mr. Vijay has been saying all around that there was no freedom in space, there was no freedom at stake. We have been all along, for any party to hold a rally, this is a democratic right. And we all along the way are telling them to come sooner because the crowd has actually gathered.
So when you say all this, Mr. Nehru, do you believe that a case should be filed against Vijay? Do you believe that while TVK general secretaries are being booked by the government is also politically wary that if we file a case against Vijay, it will boomerang and he'll become a hero? That's why you've not filed a case against him. Would you agree?
So, Mr. Veeraraghavan, I still don't want to, subscribe to any conspiracy theories here also. There's a one-woman commission, a very highly respected Justice Aruna Jagdishan, who's actually probing this. And I still don't want to take stands or mean tangentially to anything here. There are lives being lost and we need to fix responsibility. And that's why, in respect of DMK or the other party, we still have a justice who's respected to take a call from a third point and show us, what went wrong and how not to do it again.
No, but you've already blamed the TVK, sir. You're already making allegations against TVK. Now, the same holds true for everyone.
Just because I asked the organizers to be responsible, if that is called blaming, I don't know what blaming is. I am just asking them that if you had actually organized a rally, you're responsible for the rally, you're responsible for the cadres too, and you're responsible to follow, those conditions that are being laid down for the safety and welfare of the people who are attending.
What do you have to respond to the opposition's charge, the AIADMK charge, that the government should not have authorized a press conference like what happened today because it will influence the judicial probe that's happening?
Madam, I seriously have no point to talk about this because there's no point to be made. I mean, it's the government that is actually trying to, make sure that the information is available to the public on the ground to scotch any rumor mongering, because rumor mongering makes it more worse. It's 41 lives that is lost, but the confidence of the people is very important, in the justice system that is being, meted out. So it is the responsibility of the government to also get information out. Just because somebody doesn't like it doesn't mean it's wrong.
Right. Thank you, Arun Nehru, for joining us with those details. That was DMK MP from Perambalur, Arun Nehru, speaking on the controversy, on the stampede, on the tragedy that unfolded in Karur a few days ago with 41 people dead. Moving on to some breaking news now, Vida. Adav Arjun has been booked for a social media post. Chennai Cybercrime has booked him, and this is just hours after he had posted a controversial post on X, but he had also deleted it.
That's right, Vasudha. This was a post that came out last evening. It was an extremely controversial post. It was deleted immediately, and I believe some TVK leaders had also taken strong objection to post and asked for it to be deleted immediately. It was something about Gen Z protests, etc., resulting in this case. The TVK itself was not happy about it. This morning when I met a senior TVK leader, he shared that, look, we made sure that it was deleted. Of course, the government not taking it lightly. I believe earlier in the day, Vasudha, DMK's propaganda secretary and parliamentary party MP from Nilgiri's A. Raja had also spoken out about that post. It was expected, anticipated all day long that there will be some kind of action against Adav Arjun, who is seen as the number 3 or number 4 in the TVK, the one after N. Anand, who's seen as the number 2 of the TVK, the general secretary in charge of election management for the TVK, Vasudha.
That's right, Veera. Moving on to the discussion today, the focus point. We are joined by Anurag Naidu, who's a political analyst. We have Kovai Satyan, who is spokesperson AIADMK. We also have A. Saravanan of the DMK. Thank you, all of you, for joining us on this broadcast. A. Saravanan, to you first. Sir, the opposition is questioning as to why would the state government authorize a press conference like this, because this will influence the Judicial Commission. What would your response be?
See, they want the conspiracy theories to go agog. They want the truth should not come out. That is the reason why Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy is saying this. One-man commission is headed by a judge. If a thing is given, if factual aspects are put out by the government, when so many theories are going around, how will it influence it? She is not looking at the conspiracy theories. She is looking at how, in what manner this had happened. And the Chief Minister has made it very clear that we will not tolerate mischievous posts which aim at disturbing the serenity in the state and which will have a bearing on the law and order issue. That is why this has been done. It has
Mr. Kovai Satyan, before I get into the political exchange, Saravanan, 1 minute. One minute, Saravanan. Let me ask Kovai Satyan this question. The government is purely just putting out facts as to who gave permission, what happened exactly. When there is so much information coming from the other side, why can't the government put out its facts? These are bureaucrats and police officers listing out stage by stage what happens. Why question that press conference?
The government is putting out the facts today. That's why there is a press meet, which means the last 2 days the government and their representatives are lying. Is that the case? I can give you an example. I don't want to make it personal. The respected DMK spokesperson on this panel denied police lathi charge when I made that allegation 2 days ago in the same channel. I said police did lathi charge. He said no, there were no such incidences. Today, Additional Chief Secretary confirms that there was a police lathi charge. The entire DMCO, IT wing and the ecosystem is saying lathi charge was mandatory because the cadres refused to give way for the ambulance. And today, Additional Chief Secretary says that lathi charge was made to make way for Vijay's convoy. And who is telling the truth now? Who is lying? And why is that conspiracy theory in the first place? Because of the actions of DMK. It is not because of something that started the day one the event took place. The way the DMK ecosystem reacted, acted and made statements fueled for this conspiracy theory. And today a TVK functionary
one more question to you,
makes a statement.
If you listen to Vijay's speech, he also thanks the police officials for, helping him get through that crowd, right? So there was a sense that probably the Lathi charge argument, we don't know when did the Lathi charge actually happen. So is there a sense of confusion, and that probably was what the cops and the civil servants were trying to clarify?
First said, the Vijay started the song 10 rupee Balaji. The current went off, then the Lathi charge started. These are the sequence of events as narrated by the people who attended the event. And this was not refuted with any facts by anyone. Even today in the press conference, this was not refuted. If DMK takes credit that Vijay thanked the police force, let them also agree to the fact that it is their miscalculation that led to this entire fiasco. The DGP walked out of the press conference when questioned about the police force present.
See, we have been.
Let me ask Saravanan to respond to that question. Saravanan, hang on. My point is that along with that question, I have another question. Two questions.
Yes.
One,
yes.
What about action against Vijay itself? A. And B, most importantly, do you believe that this could potentially end up becoming an extremely delicate situation for the DMK as well if there is enormous build-up for the CBI probe? Do you believe this incident, as tragic as it is, could define political equations in Tamil Nadu in the coming days?
See, Raghav, I don't think any inquiry, whatever inquiry happens, the truth will come out. Earlier also, see, if you look at, there was a suicide of a girl, Lavanya, and the BJP and the other ecosystem made it as though that there is a huge conversion angle, and the entire media erupted in flames. Oh, there is huge conversion going on. The case was given to CBI. The CBI said what the Tamil Nadu police said. There was no conversion angle. There is nothing. So this is, the truth will speak for itself. Everybody is aware. That's what I keep telling you. Everything is recorded. This he started speaking against Mr. Sendil. The AIADMK is totally wary. They are totally afraid of Mr. Sendil Balaji. So at every possible opportunity, they want to attack him. That is why this is going on. There was no current cut. There were nothing, no slippers were thrown. Nothing of that sort had happened. That's what I'm saying. Everything. If you again ask me, the only reason why this had happened is that the organizers refused to listen to the DSP. The DSP said, stop this now and speak now. He refused to do that. The organizers refused to do that. That is why this incident had happened. Everything is in black and white.
You also had a lot of things in your control. It's an elected government and people expect that from you, that you assess the situation and take decisions and not really blame the entire crisis on a party that's just a fledgling party. We also have Nikhil Jain, who supports the Congress party, with us. He's a political analyst. But first, my colleague Vida was also the co-anchor here. He spoke to Narayan Tirupati, BJP spokesperson, on his views on the entire episode, and this is what he said.
Mr. Narayan Tirupati, Vijay has accused that there is a conspiracy. The state government has laid out categorical information to say that all permissions were given and it was TVK organizers who flouted several conditions. Who does the BJP see as the bigger enemy in Tamil Nadu? Is it the TVK or is it the DMK?
I think it is not the right time to, do politics in this. That is what we have been maintaining and saying for the last 4 days, that as far as this issue is concerned, we have to see to it that actually we have to find out where things went wrong. That is our first duty, to find out. So let us not do politics in this. Why should I rush to say that TVK or DMK is our enemy or something like that? No. We have to understand that, 41 people have died in a public meeting done by a political party. So in order to see to it that it doesn't happen again, we have to learn from mistakes. Okay. Now, at present, we are involved in that. Our MP's team is, in touch with all those people in Karur.
Sir, the sense that people are getting is that Vijay has been attacking the BJP, but suddenly the BJP is going soft on Vijay because you see him as a potential force in Tamil Nadu. You see Vijay as a potential force in Tamil Nadu, so you would like the case to go to the CBI. That's the insinuation made by some opposition leaders.
If at all somebody does, they are wrong, and I strongly condemn them, because it is not the time to discuss politics. That is what I am maintaining. I am telling you again and again that this is not the time to do that politics, and we are not bothered about getting political mileage out of it, because 41 lives and more than hundreds of families have been, disturbed in this issue. However, we need to see to it that who is responsible for this. There are two issues. Number one, the police or the state government charges Mr. Vijay, and Mr. Vijay charges the state government. But we should know what went wrong and how, where. That is what we are saying. You have given permission. This is a democratic country where permission has been sought from the police. It is the police's responsibility to maintain law and order. That is what we have been saying. You just can't discount it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Narayan Tirupati.
Thank you.
Okay, let me bring in Nikhil Jain here. Nikhil Jain, if we believe that BJP is going soft on Vijay, Congress is going ultra soft on Vijay. In fact, Rahul Gandhi has also had this conversation with Vijay. Do you feel that there is a possibility of change in dynamics, alliance dynamics in Tamil Nadu? Or is it just one way of getting more seats?
See, Vasudha, I feel right now every political player, whether it's the Congress or the BJP or the DMK, they're counting on their cards. They're looking at what way to respond to this particular controversy. And I think it also depends on how Vijay's party moves forward, who they're aligning with, and what is on offer with the BJP. Right now, although the fact that they're demanding a CBI inquiry, that looks that looks something very odd to me. When you already have a commission that is headed by a former judge of the High Court, why do you need a CBI inquiry? Because at the end of the day, any law enforcement agency is susceptible to some or the other political influence.
Nikhil Jain. The reason they say they need a CBI inquiry, Nikhil Jain, is because they say that the state police is the one that needs to be probed in terms of clearances that was there. They believe that the state administration is there are people in the state administration who are responsible for the conspiracy. Anurag Naidu, the BJP seems to be slowly soft-pedaling on Vijay. No, very brief response before I go to Anurag Naidu. Go ahead, Nikhil.
Sure. See, but the investigation, the commission is not part of the state police. It has been set up by the state government. I very well understand the concerns that you have, concerns that the state police will be biased when their own people are to be put at fault. But the commission is an independent commission. Then they are perfectly within their power to be looking, and they are a just body to be looking against allegations against the organizers, as well as against the organizations put forth against the police. I really don't understand how a CBI inquiry helps in that. That's my limited point.
All right, you're making that point, but Vasudha, how does the BJP see the turn of events here? You had a whole team from the BJP going down to Karur. We haven't seen that kind of demonstration. You cover the BJP extremely closely.
Well, Veera, what I understand is that the BJP understands that Vijay is a very important factor. In fact, their own surveys have told them that it is Vijay who has come up as a very strong opponent to the DMK. But at the same time, they are with the AIADMK. They want to ensure that it is that alliance that wins. So clearly, many, there is a change in dynamics, especially after what happened in Karur. And of course, there will be a certain sense of rethink. And the NDA was very quick to put together this delegation of 8 MPs that is in Karur today. Anurag Naidu, there is a certain criticism that every time there's a stampede that takes place, it has happened in Andhra as well, the NDA is not so quick to respond. We've not seen the NDA put together delegations to sort of examine what really is happening in different states. Why was the BJP so intent on ensuring that this delegation comes up with this report soon? In fact, I'm told that they could be meeting JP Nadda, the president, as soon as tomorrow to ensure that the report is sort of submitted.
Yeah, I think it's a good question, Vasudha. Before we start, I think my condolences with the family, and Veera is covering from the ground, and then there is expression, the distress that he carries, the anguish that he carries on the face tells the gravity of the situation. And the smaller coffins are often the most heavier to carry. The kids, Vasudha, I think it's a very sorry state of affair. But yes, coming to the question, it is important, it is unique that we have an NDA delegation. You are right. There's a very specific reason here, because this has become such a bipolar and polarized tutu meme between the TVK and the DMK that none of DMK would not want TVK to thrive. At the same time, TVK would want to put all the blame. So to unearth the main reason, things that we need to get answers like why there was not enough security, why is that just the responsibility of Vijay? It is not about Vijay. If you see the last 2 decades, the stampedes have happened mainly because of 3 reasons. Either it is religious reasons, the railway station stampedes, or the political rallies, right? So all these three reasons, the prima facie, the outcome of the investigation has always showed that it is system that has failed. It is the system that has collapsed.
Let me take this question to Kovai Satyan. Kovai Satyan, there have been 5 conspiracy theories, is what I understand. One, of course, is the power, then, of course, the ambulances, police deployment, Senthil Balaji, and of course 1 or 2 more arrangements with regard to water and of course. But today the press conference in some ways, and I went through the press conference again and again, there was an attempt to ensure that there are many things that are clarified. What is the AIADMK's primary concern with how the state administration dealt with this issue?
The fundamental questions that are unanswered is how did the state government and its machinery prepare themselves for this event is a question which still not there is a convincing answer. I will quote the number of discrepancies in today's press meet and day for yesterday's. The DGP of Trichy walked out of the press meet the moment they started questioning about the whole police force that was present. The question was, you say there are 500 people on ground, but we couldn't see, not even 100 were there. How many force were present? The DGP walked out of the press conference. And today, Additional Chief Secretary says, TVK gave us an estimate of 10,000, but we anticipated 20K. So for every 20 person, 1 police force was deployed, which means the number should be 1,000. So there are glaring discrepancies which is fueling to this theory of something untoward incident happened. It was instigated by some miscreants. So let us understand, did this government follow the SOP put in place? The second, I'll finish.
No, Kovai Satyan, I get the point. I'm going to ask you one final political question because we are running out of time. Does the AIADMK
just for
see
crowd
this
monitoring and management? Veera, this point is crucial. I'm just sharing it.
All right, you're making a point, Kovai Satyan. I have a simple political question to ask for you. Does the AIADMK see this as an opportunity where the TVK gets mellowed down? Do you believe that the demand for the CBI probe and the fact that your party has not taken on the TVK, and I'll say this again, even you, while you say that you blame everyone, you've been as harsh on the TVK as you are on the DMK. Do we see this as an indication of the AIADMK, like the Congress, fishing in tragic waters?
Our party stand is we are not political scavengers, nor we have any political connections to this. A common man's life is lost in Tamil Nadu repeatedly because of the incompetence of this government. 68 precious lives is lost because of Hooch tragedy, 5 precious lives because of the air show, 22 again in Hooch tragedy, now 41. So this is a repeated exercise, but this government in 2023 purchased drones which are used for crowd management and control, and they trained police personnel. The headquarters is in Chennai. What happened to that unit? What happened to the technology which they just beat at that point of time that we have got a technological solution to do a crowd management? It is a waste of public money. It is not one.
As political as it may be, I think you are making very important points in terms of loss of life in tragedies like this. But Vasudha, the one hand is the investigation and the facts that will have to come out. On the other hand is the loss of 41 lives, an enormous blot in the history of Tamil Nadu in terms of election campaigns. One hasn't seen this kind of a tragedy of this scale. And finally is the politics of it. How this is going to define, because this is a very, very difficult moment as far as the state is concerned, but one that will also define the narrative building up to next year, 2026, Tamil Nadu. But thanks to all our guests for joining us, Vasudha. This conversation isn't ending here. It will keep going on here in Tamil Nadu as well as in New Delhi.
Absolutely, Veera. In fact, Tol Thirumavalavan has just tweeted that the Congress should also be sending a fact-finding team to Karur to find out what really happened. But given that there is a lot of change in dynamics, the way people are looking at alliances now also shows that that is an important decision that we could be tracking. But yes, like you pointed out, Karur Stampede is not just about the crowd chasing a leader, it's more about accountability and responsibility, something that we will keep asking questions on. With that, it's time for a short break. More news and updates on the other side.